All right, there we go. So if you want to hear it, you can hear it. But no, I do not believe you're overbearing at all. Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to make sure I don't want to overdrive anything. Like I said, the level's up there, but it's, it'll hit zero every once in a while, and then it drop back down. Then I changed the windscreen on my microphone, so that makes a difference too.
No, it sounds really good here, Bill. I don't know how much headroom's on a Flex, but I know for me on the Anon, I hit on peaks. I hit like 2 or 3 dB sometimes, but there's headroom there. And in fact, with the Anon, you want to peak a little bit above zero. Pure signal works better, and so does CFC Audio Tools. All that stuff works better when it's being driven pretty heavy. But yeah, like if you see on the live stream, I float a little bit above zero, 1 dB, 1.5 dB on peaks.
The A330 Flex is not, the headroom on it, Doug's not that forgiving. If you start hitting above, it's going to start putting a dirty signal down. I worry more about that than anything. Is the signal, how clean it is. So yeah, if it's running clean and everything, I'm not worried. It looks like it is here, but you never know what you guys are seeing. But yeah, we'll go from there and see how it works out.
Hey, DJ. Well, I think you're very clean. I know on the upper there's nothing. I don't think there's anything on the lower, but it's hard to tell because we got these guys on 95.
It's true. I forgot about them coming off the band.
Man, I don't know why we didn't establish here at like 6K, because for years we were up here and there was no one there, and we should have just always been doing 6. Right, DJ?
Probably solved the problem, that's for sure.
Is there anything a little bit lower?
You know, I'm sure we could find something lower. But I like it up here. What we got to do is when they're not on and we happen to be here, which 99% of the time they are on at night, but if they happen to not be, we got to start going 6K.
Yeah, I've taken notice, with this antenna, they come in a little bit stronger for some reason, but I guess that's to be expected. But on the old antenna, they didn't hit me too hard. They never bothered me that much, but here I can hear them pretty good.
Yeah, they're strong here. How? What are you copying me at, Bill? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You're anywhere from 10 to 15 over, Doug. Sounded good.
Yep, same here. So it's reciprocal. Very, very good. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to tell you, Danny, now that we could actually hear him, his audio sounds very good. Like DJ, that is all inside Thetis. That's it.
Yeah, but he sounds good. Yeah, well, I think who helped him, but him and DJ's audio sound very similar. Different voices, but buses and stuff, it sounds the same.
Yep, he's not on the Hermes. He's on. I think he bought a 101 or a 10 or something.
No, he has one of those, but what he was on the Hermes. Well, he was on the Hermes yesterday. I'm assuming he was today also. That's the Hermes, and he's got a PR40 directly connected into the Hermes.
Oh, okay, because he was having noise issues, but maybe, no, it was something else. I think he found out what the noise issues were.
Yep, and I just want to let that know, I want that asshat to know that's firing up that carrier in the middle of the passband. I've got you down to a 10-mile radius on the Kiwi SDR, and you're live on YouTube. So in about 5 minutes, I'm going to put your location on YouTube. I got you, you piece of crap.
They're like little boys, they get upset, I guess, I don't know. Someday they'll grow up and buy a big boy radio.
Yeah, well, the government likes harassing people, so I may as well just start sending these guys addresses to the government. Because what's funny is they're probably such left liberal scum, they'll get a taste of their own medicine.
Good evening, John.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I heard the carrier right there in the middle of your QSO. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. What are you going to do? It's like the same story every day, right?
It is, but it's funny when you have their addresses. I'm going to probably, I've got a list of their addresses here because it takes me about 30 seconds to get them down to a 10-mile radius. And then you put a basic address in the FCC database and it pulls up all the licensees in that area. I should just run a 24-hour feed on YouTube of their home address and their picture from Facebook over and over again for 24 hours. If they do it again, that's what I'm going to do.
It's funny. Right after that, I noticed on 95, there they go. They tune up. They tune up over here, and then they go down to 95.
Well, that's because they don't know how to zero bait. That's serious. That's not knowing how to run a radio. They just don't know.
Yeah, it seems to be a lot that they don't know these days.
You'd say zero beat to them, they would scratch their head. They wouldn't have the slightest idea what you were talking about.
Zero beat? What is that, the latest dance craze? Or some kind of new disco?
The HF Auto.
Oh, yeah. Boy, this thing is kind of cool. I was surprised at actually how fast it tuned because I saw a bunch of videos. I even watched Darren's video, and you don't realize how quick it is. I mean, it's faster than I could do it by hand, that's for sure. And I actually have a chart with all the settings, and even that takes a little bit of time. But it's just me getting used to tuning with the low drive. I just got to remember, before I start, I got to start with low power on the drive.
What's up, Andy?
And then I'm good. Before my 10-tech, I could, as long as I get the settings pretty close, I could fine tune it at 100 watts, no problem. You know what I mean? And I've done that for years, no problem. You wouldn't want to do that if you were way, way off. But as long as like I said, I have my chart. I dial it into approximately where the settings would be, and then with 100 watts, and then I fine tune it, and then I turn on my amp. With this, like you can't hit it with full 100 watts when you first start. So it's just a little bit of learning to do it a little differently than I've been doing it.
Okay, so what I have mine on the setup.
What's up, Mark? How you doing, brother?
You go to transmit.
Hello, Andy. Hello, Mark.
Have used fixed drive, and I have it set at 8 watts. And then for the two-tone test, again, use fixed drive and 8 watts. So that way I hit my tune button, and it's only 8 watts tuning it. And then even the two-tone, which I don't even do the two-tone anymore. I just hit the foot switch and start talking, and it does the feedback correcting very quickly. But that's what you want to do is bring up the general, go to transmit, and then your tune, your transmit meter forward power used fixed drive and about 8 watts.
Well, I 100% understand what you're saying there. The only thing is, right now I'm still using a conventional linear amplifier, so I still need 100 watts of tune to get the amp linear and everything. So when I get the new solid state amp, I'm going to set everything down to fixed drive. But right now I have to kind of do it by hand, unfortunately. So what I do now is I just put my amp in standby. I set my tune slider to 10 watts, tune the tuner up, then click the amp on, get
all the way over to Eufaula. all the way down to the coast down by Tallahassee.
And just fine tune the amplifier, and then I'm good to go. But that's because I still have a manual tune amplifier.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I didn't take that into
Doing
consideration,
good, Mark.
but it's nice with just the 8 watts so that I don't, even then, I'll go from bypass and go into power. And again, when I hit the tune, it's not, driving really hard. So it's a good test that way too, but I understand. VA3 KBC.
KC2QMA. Just quick question: is your software version 1. What is it that I said? 1.40, I think.
2.40.
That's a great amp.
Okay, so that must be the current
it's
number.
a great amp.
Yeah, because watching Darren's YouTube video, his was
That amp is supposed to be phenomenal, Mark.
set up. It has, the power rating 2,500 watts, and then below that, his had the SWR setting, and the 2.4 doesn't have that because he was saying that the Palstar doesn't want you changing that value, 1.5 SWR, lowering it or anything, leave it at default. So they must have taken that option right out in the 2.4 version.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's good. It protects the tuner. Well, I've got that LP100A, and one of the features it has is you can set a SWR cutout. So I have my SWR cutout set to 1.5 also, and what happens is if for some reason any part of my system, like if my antenna just goes crazy, it will automatically put the amp into standby. It'll shut the amp, put the amp in standby so that I can't key up full power with bad SWR.
Hey, Doug, I wanted to ask you, that item that you ordered, is that the 9135? Is that the model number?
Yes, I think I got the one with, it's the 5 kilowatt, and it's got the eye hook. The eye hook. Is that, it's got the eye hook on one end and the lug nut on the other.
Yeah, well, I think it was like $100 or something, maybe a little bit, 110 with the taxes or something. Did you get? They sent me an email. It says take a moment to review the installation notes for the particular unit. Did you get that memo? They sent it in an email.
Yes, I did. And the night before, I ordered a 4-to-1 because I thought I was going to do a Delta loop. So then when I ordered the 9-to-1, I put in the notes, hey, you guys could throw them. You could put it in the same box if you want. Because I paid shipping twice, where I could have paid the $16 for 2 items. I paid $12 twice. So I told them just throw it in one box. They haven't responded. But yeah, those installation notes, that's where I was reading up on what to do with the counterpoise, and it's better to be elevated than not be elevated, and all that stuff. So yeah, I got that email. I would expect they're building yours and mine. We ordered it the same day, I think. So I bet they're going to ship them the same day.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Okay, I just wanted to make sure you got that where you can read. You can mount it high or you can mount it low or whatever you want to do, I guess. But I think it does perform better higher.
All the literature says the higher you get the 9-to-1 off the ground, the better it's going to perform, because that's where the super majority of the energy is. It's right at the 9-to-1.
Hi, Roger. Evening, Scotty.
Mr. Bill.
Yeah, Ballon Designs is great. They're pretty fast nowadays. Usually they ship out the same week.
Yeah, I would expect Bill and I are shipped. Bill, I bet they ship it by Friday. I bet they do. You got to figure, how busy are they?
Yeah, it did say 3 to 5 days or something. I went back through and looked at it. I thought it was 3 to 6, but I think it's 3 to 5 or something. I don't know.
I think mine was 3 or 4.
John, I love you, John. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
Whichever you prefer.
The good news is you sound amazing. You sound marvelous. And you're like 20 to 30 over depending on the band. The bad news is you're up to 4.003 with IMD. I'm assuming, and I went down to 39.95. I don't think you're as bad on the lower. You're scratchy down there, but you're going way past 4 megahertz.
Yeah, I still haven't figured why that happens. I have tried everything I could possibly try, and I just think the pure signal feedback is just not working correctly. And I think the only hope for me is when I get the new amp that it has the new pure signal connection, because I've tried messing with every frickin' setting I can try in Thetis. I've tried database resets. I even formatted my computer and completely wiped it out to nothing, reinstalled Windows, reinstalled Thetis to a blank drive. Still have the same problem. I tried adjusting the coupler in the back, the knob. I tried turning it up, down, middle, sideways. Nothing seems to fix it. So my only guess is I've got an issue with the pure signal link. Probably the coupler is not really doing its job. So that's the only thing I can come up with, because I've never been able to get pure signal to work correctly since I've had this. And I know it works standalone, so I know that the actual pure signal circuit is working. It's just when I try to use the coupler, no dice.
So I think you're right, because while you were talking, it's weird. Your signal strength would stay the same. It was very strong. There would be IMD to 4.003, and then another 8 seconds goes by and it goes away. And then out of nowhere, it comes back, and then it goes away. Have you taken that coupler apart?
I think I did. I know it sounds terrible. I can't remember, but I think I did, and I don't remember to actually. Let me look, because I know that if I took it apart, there should be the rivets should be removed. Let me take a quick look.
All right, KB2 UKA. I bet it is. I really bet it's the coupler. And when you come back, remind me if it's the Xtronics. And I'd also be interested to know if your feedback flashes red quite often. Like instead of showing a number, it just flashes red.
Okay, yeah, I did open it, and it was in good condition. I don't see any wires off or anything. It's not an Xtronics, it's the Clean RF, and I never see a red flash. I always see a green bar. It says correcting. Right now the number is 161. Actually, it just went to 162, and the SAT number is 17, and it stays that way. So like on the screen, those numbers look right, but when I look at my pan adapter, I can see flares going up and I can see flares going down, and so it just doesn't. None of it makes any sense to me. Of course, the correcting numbers look good and the SAT number looks good, but yet it's not doing what it's supposed to.
So when I talk. And I think it's just the way I have my settings on my waterfall. I see on the waterfall signal to the right and to the left of my bandpass. But I know I'm clean. And when I do have a blowout, because every now and like if I change power and I don't two-tone, or I don't know, every now and then I'll have a blowout. It'll instead of saying a number, like right now I'm 148, 149. My SATT is 21. If I were to have a blowout right now, that 148 would drop to like 50 and be red. And it would be red, and then it would correct itself. I think you're always going to see something in your waterfall, even if it is working. Are you also seeing it on the pan adapter on the Spectrum?
Let me see. Yeah, I think, yeah, I am.
Okay, and you have the duplex button engaged, the button next to pure signal?
Yep, that's turned on.
And your VFO-A and I'm just pulling at straws here, but straws here. Your VFO-A and VFO-B, you have the sync button clicked?
Yes, I do.
And I know I did it with you, Art did it with you. We went through all the settings. You have all the right settings. It's got to be the coupler. It's got to be.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Now, when you get, I think you said, what'd you order, the VK amp?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm running. That's what DJ's running. It has an extremely efficient, clean sampler built in. I believe minus 55 dB. I don't use any extra attenuator. I just plug the, RX bypass right into there. If you still have an issue when you get the VK amp, it's something in the Anon then. It's got to be.
No, it says cup. Mine was tricky too, and this one here is working 100%.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is the guy who makes the VK amp is also an Anon user. In fact, I think he had a 7000 originally, and now I think he's using a G2 now. But so he's totally familiar with Thetis and the Anon. So that's a good sign right there that the guy who builds the amp actually uses the same radio as we do.
Exactly.
Yep, absolutely. And man, John, we're all getting on the, me and Bill, we're all getting on the NFED game. We're all putting an MFED up.
Yeah, it works okay. It works good. I mean, it's not the greatest, super efficient antenna, but it's certainly good for stateside QSO. And Ballon Designs, boy, I mean, you can't beat them. They're like the best. I mean, everybody buys their Ballons. I mean, they're the number one Ballon maker pretty much in the world at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun experiment. I'm going to get the Ballon. I'm going to get the Unknown, the 9-to-1. I'm going to try to get it up about 20 feet in the air. And then I'm going to have like 20 feet of wire going straight up. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to do the 173 or the 203 foot. But whatever the difference is going to be coming out, sloping up to another tree far away. And then I'm going to hang a couple of 17-foot counterpoises and a couple of 44-foot. And we're going to see how this bad boy works on, preferably on 160 and 80. But everything I read, when you start to get to above 100 feet, the SWRs across the entire spectrum, they start to drop to 2-to-1 without a tuner. So we'll see what happens.
My understanding is if you're really looking to do 160, you kind of want to, if you can pull it off, you want to get around 270 so feet. So
this one's going to be this one's non-resonant, and I think the max I'm supposed to do is 203, but I got to keep reading.
Oh, okay. You're doing like a random wire sort of type of deal.
Exactly. Random long wire, vertical and horizontal, 9-to-1, elevated 9-to-1, elevated counterpoises that are either perpendicular to the broadside of the antenna wire or going in the opposite direction of the antenna.
Well, it should be a nice experiment, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna, I have a feeling I'm gonna open every automatic garage door on the block.
No, hey guys, I'm going to pull the plug for this evening. Nice chatting with you, and 4 o'clock comes early in the morning, and I want to watch a little bit of maybe YouTube, something anyway. So, guys, have a good evening, and nice chatting with you. K1WIL.
All right, Bill. I'll talk to you tomorrow, and I'll let you know when the 901 comes. I bet it's going to be the same day, 73.
Have a good night, Bill. See you tomorrow.
73,
Bill. Guys, have a good one. K1WIL, we're clear with you.
73, Bill.
73.
Well, hello, Scott.
Oh, Scott.
Oh, Scott. He was there.
Maybe he went to get a coffee.
Oh, God. I used to be able to drink coffee at night and go right to sleep. I don't know. Something happened like 4 or 5 years ago. I can't do it anymore.
The coffee's gotten more caffeine.
Yeah, probably. Especially with the K-Cups.
Yep, wants you addicted.
Aha, the K-Cups, the famous K-Cups.
I always try to get away from them and go back to a regular drip pot, but I always come back.
Man, I was doing like a pot of coffee a day at one
What's up, Rails Around South Jersey? Welcome.
pot. I was really going nuts on the coffee at one point.
I love coffee. I probably drink to 4 cups, maybe 5. I usually have my last one like around 2 o'clock, and then I'm done.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I probably stop around 2 or 3 o'clock also.
I used to drink a whole lot more, but I can't anymore.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just don't have the desire, and then it starts to get kind of. I don't know. I have no desire for it. I usually have I crave that one, and then I have one of those small coffee percolators. It's a 3-cupper, and I have what the hell's those thermos things called? Yeti. I've got one of those Yeti things, and I fill that up. And I drink that in the morning with my breakfast, and then while I'm down here, and then Carol will have the rest of the coffee that's in there, which is about a half a mug. If she doesn't, then I'll top off my Yeti. But very rarely do I ever finish it all. I drink and have my breakfast, and I just can't seem to finish it.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, I think we all go through phases, with food and beverages that we like, and that we used to hate. There are things that I used to not like at all that for some reason I like it now. They're just weird things like that. But I guess your taste buds change as you get older, and I mean, I never had a sweet tooth either. That's another thing. Like, I never grew up eating lots of candy or anything like that. We were never soda drinkers. So I don't have a particularly sweet tooth. And even nowadays, I don't crave salt much either. A lot of the cooking we do without salt, and everything tastes more than salty enough for me as it is. But man, you go to a restaurant and you order a burger or something else, and you can taste all the salt in it, which most people are probably like oblivious to it. Like, it just tastes like a burger to me. But when I taste it, I taste like a lot of salt in the food,
I use pink Himalayan salt, and I love salt on my radishes, my onions, and my celery.
I had, we had KFC tonight, so I had a lot of salt.
Wow, I don't even know if there's KFC around here anymore.
Yeah, KFC, that's a lot of sodium, that's for sure.
Oh, but it's so good. So good. KB2UKA.
KC2QMA.
A3KBC. I think somebody else came in.
KE8T2U.
Sorry, frequency is in use.
Okay, thank you, sir.
5-9, good luck in the contest.
What's up, Dave? How you doing, brother?
Good. I hope everybody out there is doing good as well. I just wanted to do a quick test. I got change some things up in here and see if anybody can notice a difference.
I missed the last part. What do you have? What's new?
I just wanted to see if I got an amp hooked up here. I wanted to. I'm just trying it out to see what it acts like. Right now, I'm putting out only what the radio puts out, and then I want to kick the amp on and see if it's any different.
All right, let's do it. There's QS Baker, but I've got you S7 to S9. So you're peaking S9. Your audio level to me on Long Island is probably a 4.5. So you're just under like a 5, 7, and 9. You're like a 4, 7, and 9. So let's hear it.
Okay, here's with the amp on. Hopefully it makes a little bit of a difference. KE8TTU.
Oh boy, you're 5/9 to 10/9 S, and you're a 5. Audio came up and signal came up. How are you copying me? And then let's hear the other guys what they say.
You're coming in great. You're 5 over here, all pushing 10 on peak.
All right, Roger. John, go ahead, pick them up.
Okay, well, I've caught you pretty much a 5 and a 5. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of signal on you, but I do hear you into New Jersey. So I'll say 5 and a 5.
Okay, that's good. Did you hear me at all on 100 watts?
I did hear you when you first came in. You were really low there, but I did hear you. And when you kicked in the amp, it was a little bit better.
You're 10 to 15 over, Dave, and you peaked 20, but a good solid 15 here. I don't know what you were without the amp.
Okay, DJ, there it is without the amp right now. I think the amp was putting out about 400. I'm back to about 100 watts. Actually, right now, see right there, I should be about 100 watts.
Yeah, S9 and sometimes 5 over, but with the amp, you're a solid 15.
Okay, well, the amp's back on. It seems, I guess, to be working okay. I appreciate everybody's input. I was kind of worried, making sure I had everything hooked up right.
So what?
It is a Meritron ALS 600 and an AT2KD tuner.
Ah, good combination.
What's the max output on the 600?
I haven't looked at the manual yet, but I was told it'd probably max about 500, so I'm probably right. Let me see, let me get this peak to hold here. Right now it's about 450.
You can get 500 out of it easily, Dave. I had one of those, and you can get 500.
Yeah, so it's a 600 watt amp. So yeah, you should run it at 500, no problem.
Well, I may, it has spiked my interest, so I may see what comes of it here. At least I know it works. That's all that counts, I guess, right now.
Oh, it's working. It's the first 500, so it counts. So as long as you're getting that 500, you're ahead of the game. And I was going to say, what the hell's the difference between that and an AL811? This one's solid state, so no tubes.
Yeah, it says solid state, no tune. FET amplifier.
Is that FET Foxtrot?
Correct. Foxtrot, X-ray Tango.
Yeah, that's all transistors. So, yep, you don't have to tune it, I don't believe. I think you just, you put it on the band you want to operate on. Hold on, I'm looking at it right here. Maybe if I could get a damn picture. Nope, that's an AL811. That you do have to tune. You have that FET controller, but I'm just trying to see a good picture of it. What's on that FET controller? Just numbers?
Yeah, it's no tune amp. All you have to do is the band switching, but it's no tuned. Doug.
What's that FET control knob do?
Which, the one on the right or the left?
Hold on, let me get a real picture of it. Hold on.
I just posted it on Rumble.
All right, well, that's better. So let me look. Rumble. Oh, it didn't come through. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, so... Wow, that's a big power supply. Oh, okay. Never mind. I was looking at a different amp. Yeah, that's it. You just put the band that you want to operate. Now, do you have the ALC cable hooked up to the ICOM?
Yes, that is correct.
All right. So yeah, I guess you use that ALC knob to adjust. I never run an amp with ALC, so I don't know what to tell you there. I'm assuming, DJ, that'll affect his output, right?
I never ran the ALC with what did I have it with? I had it with the Flex 6300. I never ran the ALC with it, so I can't tell you. That's a different one than I had. I didn't have those remotes on the front. So I'm not sure whether that's the latest model or an older model.
Well, the only reason I had this 704, Ameritron 704 box that I had to use was that SB200. So I just pretty much used it again. I just put it in line. I didn't know if I needed it or not.
So, of all the times I've spoken to you, Dave, is this the first time you've had an amp over the last few years?
Well, I had the SB200, and I kind of burned it up again. So it's probably been a year or so being without an amp.
All right. Well, that makes sense because August will be a year that I moved into this QTH. And then I was off the air for like 6 months before I moved. And then I haven't heard you that strong since tonight. So it's good that you got the amp back. You sound good.
What kind of an amp?
Oh, hey, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, this is WB2 USA asking you a question. Name here is John. Juliet Oscar Hotel, November. Roger?
Yeah, John, good to hear you, man. It's Doug, KB2UKA. Dave, you got a copy on John?
Yeah, I got a copy. This is KE8TTU. Name is Dave, Delta Alpha Victor Echo.
Okay, Dave, before I jump out of here, what kind of amp do you have?
It is an Ameritron ALS 600.
Okay, that's, I think that, what's the maximum output of that, about 600 watts?
I'm guessing around 500. I'm not really sure. I'm being told that it'll
Yeah, it's 600.
right around 450 right now.
Okay, very good. Well, you sound great. We don't know where your QTH is, but I have a beautiful signal on you, and the audio's fantastic. Let me bow out of here, gentlemen. I'm going to have some tea with the better half. WB2 USA. Good luck with that amp.
WB2 USA. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm about 10 miles north of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay, very good. We're located in the mountains of New Jersey, about 7 miles east of the Delaware River. Roger?
Roger that. I got you about 20 over here. Sound good.
Oh, thank you very much. We don't own an amp, so we can't verify that. That's why I asked you about the amp. Someday we'll be able to get so much, or we'll get all the information possible and go ahead and purchase an amp. We hear so much about the Mercury amplifier, so we're still scratching our head. All right, gentlemen, thanks a lot. Thanks, WB2 USA.
All right, 73. Good to hear you. All right, John, Dave, DJ, I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a great night. Dave, sounding good. Congratulations on the new amp. Go ahead, DJ. Pick it up. I'll listen out. 73.
Okay, yep, 7-3, and Scott, you're back. So good enough, Dave. Yeah, you can run 500 watts, 450, 500. You can run that all day. VA3 KBC.
Have a good one, Doug. I'm just getting in here. KG2MM.
Tuner. The tuner's a lot.
Holy crap, Mike. Hold on.
I like the MFJ. It was. I mean, I had all my settings. It's just that now I gotta kind of rewrite the settings now and get used to this, the buttons and knobs on this tuner.
Hey, well, you'll get used to it. It's good. Mike, you're 10 to 15 over, man. I got the YouTube on. Before I shut it down, give me some more audio.
Oh, Roger. All right, well, Dan seems to be working good because you're sounding excellent down here also. And, yeah, I just wanted to catch you before you sign there. And good evening, everybody. Richard, Scott, DJ, and Dave, congratulations again. This is KG2MM. Go ahead, Doug.
All right. Yeah, man. Sounding great. Good conditions tonight. Scott, I'm sorry. Well, Scott, I don't know if you ever came back. I said hello, but like 10 times, but you disappeared. And Richard, I didn't know you were in there. 73, everyone. Have a great evening. KB2 UK clear.
Okay, Doug. Have a good evening. I appreciate the comments and give me a report there.
No problem. And if you want to hear it, Dave, I got the YouTube. It's the only one I did today. It's called, what the hell's it called? Oh, man. It is called 80 with the Crew. You can go listen back and hear yourself, and you can hear the changes when you turn the amp on. All right, 73.
Have a good one, Dave.
Richard, sounding good up here. 73, brother.
I had to step out.
7-3.